Hello everyone and welcome to the Fieldhouse at our Culpeper County Sports Complex. My name is Jonathan Krawczyk, Station Manager here at Culpeper Media Network, and I'm welcoming you to this episode of the Recreation Rundown. Joining us to kick things off today is, well, the man, the Director of Culpeper County Parks and Recreation, Mr. Andrew Hardy. Andrew, first off, how are you today?
I'm good, Johnny. How are you doing today?
You know what? Thank you for asking. I'm doing fairly well. I tell you what, I'm always excited to come here and visit the Fieldhouse and see the staff, see what's going on, and learn about what's happening with Culpeper County Parks and Recreation. So, but you're doing well. You look well.
Honestly, like we were joking about earlier, I'm ready for all season. I'm like a good radial tire. You know, between the look and the style, all seasons, all the time over here.
Well, there is a lot on your plate all throughout the year, so you pretty much have to be ready for anything, correct?
That's true. I mean, I can jump out in action, whether it's on the athletic fields or here in the office. We're set and ready to roll.
At a moment's notice, there you go. So, Andrew, we have a lot to get to in this show today, but one of the things we wanted to talk about specifically with you is where we are in some of the larger projects. There's been a lot of talk. We've spoken about it a number of times regarding the pool. Right. There's other CIP projects for this year and next year. Kind of tell us where we're at with some of the larger items.
Yeah, the pool's a really exciting one. You mentioned that we touched on it several times. It's not only been on your network, but publicized within the Star Exponent. But we are finishing up our specs to put it out to bid on March 29th. That's the expected timeline. It'll close its bids on April 18th. And at that point, we'll open them up, and hopefully the project will be under the $5 million town commitment to the pool project. Other items that we have coming forward are really going to be a year for infrastructure improvements for our parks. We have in the capital improvements plan permanent restrooms at Lynn Park, permanent restrooms at Mountain Run Lake Park, because we understand that with the amount of users we have coming to our properties, you know, using porta-johns in June and July is not a great option, especially those with little kids. So we're looking at getting them to be more, you know, universal properties that have amenities that folks can enjoy beyond the athletic fields and playgrounds.
Now, as of filming of this segment, spring has just sprung. You know, and here we are into what I feel is your busy season. There's a lot that's going on, and a lot of folks are getting ready to use all the facilities, the parks, the you know, for rentals or just enjoying outdoors. So what are you guys doing specifically to get ready for the upcoming season? Well,
we've been getting ready all winter. You know, most really don't understand with the process of parks and recreation. We are a 365-day-a-year operation. Joe Kuntz and the Park Services team have been doing a variety of trail maintenance projects and just prepping of our park properties to get ready for this time of year. Our athletic fields, as you know, many have seen here at the Culpeper County Sports Complex, are overseeded with rye. They're up, they're green. We just opened actually last Saturday and had Little League, Culpeper Soccer Club, Culpeper Football Association, as well as Culpeper Youth Rugby returning to action that day alone. So there's a lot of back-end work that our team does that the public generally may not see that prepares us for that return for the spring seasons.
Now, I know when we spoke with Joe outside last year, I think it was, you know, he was talking about all the work that goes into it. And I know your entire staff does amazing work. Now, as we look to this season, we're talking about the return of Little League. You mentioned rugby and some other things. But we have also been talking over the past years about the influx of sports tourism, specifically because of this facility.
Correct.
Would I go out on a limb and say that that's going to continue this year?
Yeah, we've got 6 youth rugby and collegiate level rugby turns already lined up for 2024. They'll actually start with the Rugby Virginia 15s in May, which we've got teams throughout the state of Virginia, all the way down Richmond, all the way west to Winchester and Harrisonburg, that will come in for that particular event. Then July, we have the Summer Sevens, which is hosted through Rugby Virginia as well, and the same group of youth programs coming. Culpeper Youth Rugby with John Carter and his team do an amazing job helping us put on that event by providing some volunteers and doing concessions and so forth. And then the big spectacle that comes in November are those 3 straight weekends of the National Collegiate Rugby where the Cardinal Cup is the second weekend, this coming up in November. The women's semi and quarterfinals are the third weekend, and then the men's semifinals and quarterfinals are the fourth weekend. And that we host teams Clemson, St. Bonaventures, Villanova, Georgetown, UVA, Tech. That's a really exciting one because rugby, for the most part, I don't think a lot of people understand the ins and outs of it, but it is one of my favorite sports that I've had the opportunity to get to know in my 4 years here, and it's been wonderful to see.
Yeah, as a comparison, it's like football, except it doesn't stop.
It doesn't stop, and the women's game, that one is really, really impressive because those young ladies, I joke about it when I'm on site, I've never felt emasculated before until I've had the opportunity to watch women's rugby, and I can't complain about anything because they are fierce competitors. The camaraderie that's on the field for both your team and your opponent, it's stellar to watch individuals at that level play.
Now, for those who may not be familiar, I mean, we can talk about these organizations coming to Culpeper, and in my mind, well, I know there are a multitude of reasons why this is such a great opportunity for Culpeper. Could you share with me again some of the highlights of why this is such an amazing opportunity?
Yeah, and I think that's the difference where our department is really transitioning, is we have both the local impact for the quality of life of our residents, whether it's through the middle school youth volleyball program, our fitness classes, arts and crafts, cultural arts programming that benefit our local residents on a day-to-day basis. But then as far as the facilities go, utilizing them on the sports tourism side to bring individuals in to help with our lodging, our dining, our shopping, which really help the businesses out there. And anybody that knows, I love folks that come into Culpeper, they're going to spend their money and then they're jumping on the thing with 4 wheels, 6 wheels, 8 wheels and leaving out of town. They're the folks we really love because they're helping support our economy day in and day out.
So as we sit here and we get ready for the season, what's there some other, you mentioned facility improvements. What else is on the horizon for Culpeper County Parks and Recreation that we haven't necessarily talked about yet?
So I think the facilities are one that folks can follow us on Facebook, Culpeper County Parks and Rec, to stay up to date. I think a lot of it is some of the programming that we're doing on the youth athletics side. And I know Holly's not joining this segment today, but we just finished up the Winter Middle School Volleyball League for young ladies 11 to 14 years old. Had 60 participants in that. We've gotten rave reviews for that program, and we're getting ready to bridge in the women's high school warm-up session for this summer. And we've got 40 young ladies. And that program really features some heavy hitters that we've got participants from Madison, Orange, Fauquier, and Warrington and Culpeper all participating in that league. And that started just actually last Tuesday. We're following up again with the second season of the Middle School Volleyball League, where we've got 60 young ladies again signed up in that program, and they're from throughout the region. And then from the sports side, we're partnering with Mr. Jennings, Culpeper County legend in the basketball arena, to do a variety of basketball clinics with him, from scoring to rebounding to defense to point guard. So folks are going to be able to register for affordable, accessible programs and really get top-notch instruction, which is outstanding.
Absolutely. I love the work that you're doing, you continue to do. But most importantly, thanks for taking the time and telling us about it today.
You're welcome, Johnny K. We appreciate you guys coming out.
Always a pleasure.
Thanks, sir.
Well, continuing on with this episode of the Recreation Rundown, we welcome now Facility and Program Supervisor, Ms. Tabitha Riley. Did I get that right?
Yes, but it's programs and
Programs and Facility Supervisor.
But it's both words are in there, so it really doesn't matter.
Okay, so close enough?
It's close enough for government work.
Okay. And here we are. Tabitha, what a pleasure it is to see you once again. How are you?
I'm doing very well. And yourself?
You know what? I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
That's good.
Hey, so we talked with Andrew, and when we were talking, we talked about here we are, spring has officially sprung.
Yes.
And we are in the middle of it all.
Yes, we are.
I know that there are a number, and I mean an incredible number of offerings. But can we talk a little bit about what is still available for folks to sign up for? What kind of programs we have going on right now?
Oh, we've got a ton of stuff still going on. Best place to go is our website at culpepperrecreation.com. Click on the yellow button that says online registration. That will give you a complete listing of all of our programs. But just as a highlight, we've got an intro to kidding around yoga getting ready to start. I'm not going to go through my 3 pages of cheat sheet notes. So we've got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for women's self-defense getting ready to start. I got to give this one a plug. I'm actually teaching cake decorating basics.
Really?
Yep. It's just a basics class. First class is how to do the decorations. Second class is decorating a cake. I only take 4 people. So, and then our standard stuff, our Tai Chi classes, our drawing and painting, and Fit and Well is coming back, pickleball, all sorts of stuff. So there's something for everybody. So definitely visit our website and get a complete list.
You know, the website actually is, you mentioned, is one of the best places. One of the other opportunities that folks have, is the Culpeper Quarterly. Currently, the Culpeper Comic Con is on the front front cover. But this again covers a lot of the offerings and has a lot of information regarding Culpeper County Parks and Rec.
Yes,
so if folks want to check this out, they can. And then if they want to hop online, they can as well.
Yep. So that was mailed out beginning of March. It's supposed to go to every mailbox in the town and county of Culpeper. If you don't get it, please let us know, because county does pay for those to be delivered. But it's got a lot of great information. Obviously, Parks and Rec section is the best.
By far.
But the library is also in there, 4-H is in there, so there's a ton of good information. It's not just us. So definitely look at that. If you want a hard copy, we've got them here at the field house. There's copies at the library, a couple other places. It's also available for download on the county website.
Now, one of the things we talked about last episode, and one I want to make sure we talk about every single opportunity that we get, is we talk about inclusion and facilities for all.
Correct.
We were talking last time about financial aid, and one of the things that is important is that, you know, when we have these offerings, these opportunities for the community, we want to make sure everybody is able to take advantage.
Correct.
Can we talk a little bit about financial aid
absolutely.
and what's offered?
So what is currently available is our Access Assistance Program, which provides access for all the Parks and Recreation programs. It's available to anybody who's a Culpeper County resident. Right now, criteria is based on federal SNAP guidelines. So if you qualify for SNAP, you automatically qualify for the Access Assistance. If you don't qualify for SNAP, it doesn't mean you don't qualify. It just means you've got to write a letter explaining your current situation, because life happens. Hardships come up, lose a job, whatever the case may be, and some people just need assistance when they normally wouldn't. So just write a letter. It goes to our Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. They'll review it, and then they approve or say maybe next time. And the Access Assistance provides $50 per person in your household. Those funds are valid until June 30th, and you can use them however you want for your family, whether you use all the funds for one person or you split it up amongst your family for any programs that are offered through our department.
Now again, primary point of contact to get that started.
So contact myself at triley@culpepercounty.gov. You can call me at 540-727-3412 or stop by, and any of our staff can give you the paperwork, but I'm the one who actually processes it.
All right. I appreciate that.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Now, as we run down all the offerings for this episode, we have to talk a little bit about one of your favorite babies, and that's the Wicked Bottom 5K.
Oh, yes.
It's coming very quickly, isn't it?
It's coming very, very quickly. So the Wicked Bottom is on Saturday, May 4th. As most people know, it is a partnership between us and Girls on the Run. It's their end-of-season 5K. And this year, we have our half-mile fun run for the kids or anybody who's not quite ready for the 5K. We've got the 5K option, and then also we've added a 10K option for those runners who want a little more distance. So, And then also, we've got a brand new logo.
You know, I heard little rumblings about
Yep.
that.
So it should be up on the screen right now, hopefully. And it's a totally awesome brand new logo thanks to K Art and Design. So they took care of us. But registration is going on now for all 3 distances. Event t-shirt deadline. If you'd like to get a shirt, you need to register by Sunday, April 7th. Because I've got to place my shirt order on Monday, April 8th. So anybody who registers after the 7th, unfortunately, we won't have any extra shirts. But definitely sign up early, plus you save a couple bucks because there is a price increase.
Now, I know that you've been planning these events for many, many months beforehand.
Correct.
Any other changes that we need to know of for the Wicked Bottom 5K that's upcoming on May the 4th?
The 5K itself is pretty much same event. So it's a good event, so there's no need to change a whole lot of stuff to it. Nice, easy course.
It ain't broke.
Exactly. It's a nice, easy course. So it's challenging enough for experienced runners that they can work on getting their PRs or personal records. But it's also easy enough for first-time 5Kers. The only hill's at the very beginning of the course. After that, everything's either downhill or flat. So it's
You're speaking my language now.
Oh, me too. I don't like hills.
Now, once the 5K completes, well, it doesn't end there.
No.
You start gearing up for summer camps.
Oh,
And-
we're already geared up.
Oh,
Yes.
you're in the mix of it.
Exactly.
But talk to me a little about some of the offerings where we can get additional information.
Okay.
Again, that's pretty much a plug for the
Yeah.
website. You know.
So website obviously is the one-stop shop for all information Parks and Recreation, so culpeperrecreation.com. Summer camps. We've got our Girls on the Run, Girls Have Heart summer camp. Week of July 15th will take place at Lynn Park. We've got our Kaleidoscope Art Camp for 6 to 8-year-olds and 9 to 13-year-olds the week of July 8th here. We've got our Kids Camp, A Doggone Good Time. Kids get to bring their dog to camp.
Okay.
Personal favorite. Week of June 10th at Lynn Park. And then our staff is running a summer rec camp for ages 6 to 9 the week of June 3rd and the week of July 22nd.
So again, all the information regarding these camps is available online. You can use that assistance if you need it that we talked about earlier
Yep.
for
So
these
financial
camps.
aid applies to these summer camps because the Girls on the Run camp and the Kids camp, $150, $160 respectively, $260. The dog camp is over $200. So, but the financial aid helps with that.
Yes.
So if you've got a kid that wants to go, definitely please apply for the financial aid. So.
I love the opportunities that are just coming constantly throughout the year. And another thing that I want to mention that I will never not mention is you briefly mentioned, you're partnering with Girls on the Run for the Wicked Bottom 5K.
Yes.
Other partnerships throughout the year
Oh, absolutely.
are really just making an incredible offering for the community.
Yep. Wicked Bottom is also a partner with Old House Vineyards. They help sponsor the event by providing free coupons for a glass of wine or a glass of beer, ages 21 and up, for that weekend. So it doesn't just have to be Saturday. It's Saturday or Sunday. You can go over there after the event and enjoy a glass of wine or a pint of beer.
I like where your head's at, young lady. But as we talk about these events and these summer camps and these classes and these offerings, it doesn't stop. There's even more coming down the line. In fact, you've had great success over the past year or so with vendor markets.
Correct.
And they are continuing, aren't they?
Yes. So we've added a new one for June. It is our Culpeper Motorhead Swap Meet. And it is going to be all things automotive, motorcycle, ATV, farm tractor, oil memorabilia-ish related. So like old gas station signs, stuff like that. So we are still taking vendor applications and hoping to have a great event for that one. We are bringing back our summer sale. We did our first one last summer. This year we are actually adding an indoor portion as well. So we'll have indoor vendors and outdoor vendors. So We've got 46 indoor booth spaces and 70 plus outdoor spaces. So, knock on wood, we're going to be full. It'll be a great day to come flea market picking, craft vendor, perusing, all that good stuff. And then we're also adding one more new one. September 8th is going to be the new harvest market. Right now, I'm looking at just indoor. We may add an outdoor portion too, but I've got to check and see on that.
Now, are we adding this from community feedback or because of the success of prior ones?
Both.
Really?
Both.
So
Yeah.
how did the last one go?
Our winter market, we had on Sunday, February 4th, we had 47 vendors in this building. We had over 1,300 people come through these doors to
Goodness
shop
gracious.
in a 4-hour time period.
Goodness gracious.
I opened the doors doors weren't supposed to open until 12. I opened it at like 11:57, and there was a line down the sidewalk. People I was standing there holding the doors open, just letting people walk in, and it was a blast. We had a great time. All the vendors, there was a couple vendors that were sold out within an hour and a half.
Incredible.
So it was very well received.
And I knew a number of people who were excited to come by. But then I know there had to have been a few folks that came by because they heard about it, probably by watching the program, that may not have been as well versed regarding the field house. But then when they come and see the offerings.
We had a lot of those too. It was, I can't even count how many people I talked to that while they were here, we gave them a tour of the building as well and went over what we do here. We've got basketball, we've got volleyball, indoor soccer, preschool playtime, our silver club, our Tai Chi classes, all those different things that we offer. So,
well, Tabitha, I love the fact that so much is going on, providing opportunities for the community day in, day out. Y'all are doing a great job.
Oh, thank you. We do our best. It's definitely fun. So.
All right, so one more time, let's give a plug for communication. We want to figure out if folks are watching, they want more information about the vendors market, financial aid, the class listings. Where do we go? What do I do? Where do I go?
So start at our website, culpeperrecreation.com. If you're interested in financial aid, if you're on a desktop, left side, there's a link for financial aid. If you want a list of classes, there's a big yellow button that is online registration. Just click on that, and that will take you to our list of activities that we have. If you're interested in park rentals, there's an orange button that says online registration. I have to enunciate that correctly. And that'll take you to our facility rentals page. Contact information is also on there. If you just need to email us in general, parks, PARKS, at culpepercounty.gov. You can give us a phone call at 540-727-3412. Also follow us on Facebook. That's the best way to stay up to date with everything that is going on right now. And it's search Culpeper County Parks and Recreation. Or if you're lazy like me, facebook.com/Culpeper Recreation. And it'll take you right to our page.
Tabitha, again, I appreciate you taking the time.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate you
and,
too.
And I really appreciate all the passion you operate with on a daily basis.
Thank you.
All right. Tabitha, I hope you have a great day. And again, thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we conclude this episode of the Recreation Rundown, we would be remiss if we didn't speak with one of the incredible teachers of one of the numerous offerings here at the Field House at Culpeper County Sports Complex. And joining us now is none other than Rose Phillips. Rose, first off, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Of course.
Now, a birdie told me that not only are you coming to sit with us, but you've just taught a class, correct?
Yes.
Now, what classes do you teach?
So I teach Tai Chi. So 2 types of classes. So one is for arthritis and fall, and the other one's at 24 forms.
24 forms. Okay, I'm going to back up a little bit because I'm a little bit of a neophyte. I just really like that word. For those who are unfamiliar, what exactly is Tai Chi?
So Tai Chi is based off of a mind-body exercise. And so it really uses a gentle form of movements and really incorporating the breath work. And so when you're able to do that, you're able to bring down a lot of the systems when people are feeling depressed or anxious. It really brings everything back down again, and you become more grounded, right? And not only that, the benefits of it is that it also helps bring down blood pressure. It helps with mitigating falls. It helps with really increasing the immune system as well. So it does a lot. It has a lot of benefits to it.
Now, I mean, Tai Chi, I believe, has been in practice for thousands of years. So it's amazing how, you know, something's been around for so long, and folks may still not be aware of it. So for those who are unaware, I mean, you're talking about some of these benefits of Tai Chi. I mean, can you give us kind of an example? Maybe you've seen maybe some folks gain flexibility, or maybe just have in general, smile on their face more?
Yeah, and so what I've noticed oftentimes, I'm actually a mental health practitioner, so I'm actually a mental health therapist and really specializing in trauma. And so when we always deal with wanting to deal with anxiety, depression, or stress, right, we always want to include as a resource to breathe in, to use the breath work. And when we actually add in the physical movements as well as the breath work, you start to implement a lot of things within the body. We call it the anatomical nervous system. We really start bringing a lot of things back down. And when we do that, the body starts going into healing mode. And when it does that, it also sharpens the brain when you're able to bring everything down. Right, because when someone who's in stress, someone who's depressed, someone who's anxious, the body's always in fight or flight mode or kind of the avoidance mode. But when everything comes down, everything comes back into place, everything's sharper, everything, like you're able to kind of recognize the words that you need to do and kind of like, oh, I remember that. And you're even much more social in that sense. And so really Tai Chi has the benefit of doing both. And so, what was your original question again?
No. Well, I mean, when you taught class today, and how long have you been teaching?
So I've been teaching for about 2 years here at Culpeper.
Okay.
But my practice have been for about a decade.
So I'm sure over those years you've seen the rejuvenation of people, where people change. Can you talk about a couple of examples of that?
So an example, I have an elderly gentleman, and we'll call him Joe. And he's okay with me talking about him, in fact. And so this particular gentleman has, when he walked, there was a particular gait to him. And even just lifting a foot would cause him to kind of, shift and kind of lose his balance a little bit. So he's been with me in practice for 2 years. Now you see him, he's just walking. He's able to lift his foot a lot longer. We call it hang time, like in surfing in Hawaii. I'm from Hawaii, by the way, aloha. And so when you lift your foot, you're able to, he's actually able to hold that a lot longer. And you don't see the stumble as much. People come in at the end of session and say, wow, I feel so much better, Rose. And so that's one of the benefits of really Tai Chi, and it just makes this practice so much more enjoyable when you see that.
Well, I'm not going to lie. Just talking with you, I feel a little bit more relaxed.
Do you want to do some?
Actually, I was going to ask that. Could you give me an example? Is there a specific maybe breathing technique that you start with?
Sure,
like,
sure.
Just real quick, because I'm very curious.
And so if you can go ahead and if you can put your free up your hands for just a moment. All right. And so what we want to do is we want you to be able to just sit up straight. Perfect. You're doing that right. And so we want to be able to bring our hands here, as if you're holding a ball. There you go. And making sure that the shoulders are relaxed. And as we notice really the energy between the palms here. Very good. And so I want you to be able to breathe in as you open up the hand and exhale. I'm doing it 2 more times, breathing in and exhale. Let's do it 1 more time, breathing in and exhale. Good. And here we want to close our hands and bringing it down very slowly with intention. And resting it on our lap. And just really noticing the body settling, coming back into healing mode, to rest and digest.
That's nice. And you do this every week?
Every week. I do it with my clients every day. 10 hours a day. So we do incorporate a lot of that. And what's fascinating about Tai Chi is that people don't realize that the mental health benefits of it as well. It just brings everything back down.
Well, thankfully, the conversation regarding mental health is at the forefront now.
Oh, yes.
And being a practitioner of Tai Chi and in your chosen field, you see a lot of it. And I feel that it's important to have the conversations. And then when you have a physical manifestation of that conversation, like Tai Chi, I feel it can only be helpful.
It does. It really, really does. In fact, this particular Tai Chi that I'm teaching, this particular program, is actually from Australia, from Dr. Lam's program. And what they found that if you do Tai Chi for 1 time a week for 16 weeks, it reduces the fall by 67%.
Really?
Yes. You do Tai Chi twice a week for 1 hour. For 8 weeks, it still reduces the fall by 67%. That's just the physical aspect. We're not even talking about the mental health aspect. It actually improves sleep. I didn't talk about, it improves the quality of sleep, right? And so it also improves the brain function as well. And so it has all those benefits. We can also do it sitting down, so it's very adaptable. So for those who are physically fit, for those who are confined to a wheelchair, you can actually do sitting down and still have the same benefits.
So are there still spots in your class available?
Yes. Am I going to see you next week?
I feel like I need to. I feel like I need to. And as I said, just sitting here speaking with you, I obviously your passion for it is incredible. But it's just your calming presence. It can only be beneficial in everyday life.
It is.
So I'm going to have to sign up for a class.
I will see you there next week.
I will probably be your worst student, though.
There's no such thing.
Okay.
There is no such thing as a worst student. The fact that you're being present and you're being there really tells me about who you are. And that's strength. That is strength.
Well, Rose, I really appreciate you taking the time with me. And I really appreciate the breathing technique. I'm going to have to do that. Nicole's going to be sitting across the office looking at me like, what is he doing? And I'm like, I am breathing. I am breathing. I'm holding that ball and I'm bringing myself back to healing. Again, Rose, is there anything in particular maybe that I haven't spoken with you regarding Tai Chi or your classes that you want to make sure that I know about?
No, I think, I also want to mention that, Tai Chi for the rest of the summer is actually being held all up until August.
All the way through August?
All the way through August, every Thursdays at 10 o'clock and then at 4 o'clock.
And again, if folks are interested, the best way is to log on to the website and find out exactly when you're going to have your classes. Rose, thank you so much.
You're
what
welcome.
A joy it was to speak with you today.
You're welcome. Mahalo, as we say in Hawaii.
Mahalo.
Mahalo.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. Don't forget, log on to culpeperrecreation.com to learn more about anything that we've spoken of today. I want to say a special thanks not only to Andrew Hardy, but also Tabitha Riley, and a very special thank you to Ms. Rose Phillips for joining us today. Until we see you at one of the many opportunities that Culpeper County Parks and Recreation provide our entire community, you make sure you breathe and have a great day, and of course, a better tomorrow.